Hello, hello. Happy Friday. How we doing, Johnny Mo?
Yeah, I'm doing good. You know what I mean? I'm doing good. I'm here. I'm excited. I'm fired up. I'm always fired up for these.
Yeah, a little after 3 o'clock on Friday, so it might be little bit more mellow than it was last week when we caught it on Thursday, and you were a little salty. But
I'm a
we,
salty again. I'm always
yeah,
salty.
well,
I take a salt pill every morning.
yeah, yeah, we had to get one in. We had stuff going on, so here we are, a little later in the day, trying to catch some folks and see what's going on. Hope everybody has had a good week, and it's been a productive week. But that and I know we got about 45 minutes today, Johnny Mo, to run through this, so I want to dive right into it. You and I were talking before we pushed the go button, and I've been having a lot of conversations this week with agents in a bunch of different groups that people that have reached out. Everybody right now is in that mode of how do I generate business? Where is it going to come from? What can I do to find more business? Um, and I think a lot of people are frustrated right now because you've seen agents that are doing 25 to 30 deals a year that are on pace to do like a third of that. I mean, I talked to somebody yesterday who does 30 deals a year. They've closed one so far this year, and we're into the middle of May. And they're freaking out. Where's it going to come from? Where am I going to find it? How do I get back on track? And we talked a little bit about last week, Johnny Mo, where a lot of people I think want to be on track, but because things were so easy and crazy the last few years, they don't know how to get back on track because there wasn't a need and there wasn't the time to actually get in and learn this business and build anything. You were just answering the phone and running around with clients.
Yeah, you're an order taker. Your value proposition was that you're available. Whoop-de-doo. I
Yeah,
mean, yay. Okay.
but
This is the same problem that I've been dealing with in this industry for 20 years.
mhm.
There's order takers, there's order makers. Which one are you? I don't mean this stuff to be condescending. I ain't talking to any person individual. You and I also know people on the other side of the spectrum that are having the best years of their
I was
life.
just gonna
So
say, there's the flip side too.
so you know what really grinds my gears?
Yeah.
These agents that complain and complain and complain, who are willing to pay and pay and pay Zillow, pay your competition, but they refuse to do the work that is proven to work.
Mhm.
It's proven to work. But they'll sit here and tell me, oh, that'll never work. Well, it's working for the lot of people I work with. Matter of fact, you know who else it's working for, Harrison? Me. It's working
Mhm.
for me. Okay. I've been out of production since 2016. I just started getting back. I wouldn't even consider myself in production. I'm going to sell 20 houses a year, enjoy a good living, run Explore My Town, and show people I haven't lead generated once.
Right.
You know what I do though? I put out content that the community wants to engage with. I enjoy my life through doing video, digital, and social. Right?
Yep.
I write blogs. I take time to provide items of value. I make relationships. I stay in touch with people. I follow up with people. There's no secret to it. You know what?
Nope.
If there is a secret, you know what the secret is? It's a filthy four-letter word. It ends in K.
Yeah.
It's work.
Yeah.
You got to do the work. If you ain't, there is no more falling from the sky. There's no more throw the hook in and fit. You're
Right.
getting the fish. You ever go stripe a fish and they stop to get mackerel? You just put your hook in the ground and you pull into the water and you're
Mhm.
just pulling them out, right? Those days are over.
No, I grew up striper fishing off of Pierce Island, where you were recently down there in Portsmouth. That was some of the best striper fishing around, and
Mhm.
literally, if you can throw the mackerel out in the path that those stripers are moving at night, they grab it and they fight you. It's just again, it goes back to, you know, with fishing, if you put the food in their path, they're going to take it. You're going to catch fish. If you put your content where their eyes are in their path of attention, they're going to see you. They're going to recognize you. They're going to continue to recognize you. They're going to do business with you. I mean, I remember Gary Vee talking years ago about the fact that, when he was a kid running a lemonade stand, he would basically have his friends run the lemonade stand. He'd drive around town figuring out which tree at which intersection people were most likely to look at to hang the sign. Because at the end of the day, where those eyes go, where those eyes are going to go is where you need to be. And, you're a great example of that, getting back into production and immediately, starting to set some appointments. And I'm also not in production. I'm going to have my best year ever this year. I'm not in production, and it's coming from videos. I closed 2 at the end of last year off of videos. I'm going to close 3 this month off of videos, and I've got 2 people recently that reached out to me from videos. So that's 7 pieces of business in 6 months off of videos, and I'm not doing anything to actually lead generate. I'm creating content, putting it out there, putting it ideally where people are going to see it, and then people are engaging with it and then reaching out to me. But it wasn't like they saw one video and reached out. They saw the repeat. They saw more and more. They saw the one last month and the one this week and the one next week. And from there, they begin to build up that trust and that relationship. And next thing you know, they're I'm getting a Facebook message or a phone call or a text or an email just saying, "Hey, love your stuff. I'm thinking about doing something. Can we talk?" And then
Mhm.
their clients show up.
Yeah. And that's the way, that is how I want to work. Okay. I'm old now. I really don't want to have to come in and now don't get me wrong. If you're just getting going in this business, if you really want to grow and have a ridiculous amount of business, I'm not judging you. I'm not faulting you. What I'm about to say, I 100% believe in sitting down for an hour to 2 hours every single day to mine your database, go
Yeah,
through your database,
absolutely.
make the phone calls. I'm not saying don't do that. I'm
Correct.
saying I don't do that. Okay. I have done that and I've had excellent success. I'm just at a different place in my life. I don't need it all. I don't want
Mhm.
to get it all. I'm okay losing a bunch because I know that I'm going to attract the ones that I want. And here's the thing, if anybody's freaking out and you're not attracting business, that should be the number one concerning thing for your business. And it's as simple as putting out good quality content. The thing that you have in your way is yourself. That's
Right.
it. You have yourself. And I'm not picking on you about that because it's knowledge, fear, of time. You
Mhm.
don't have the knowledge set, and I don't expect you to because it's not your wheelhouse. You don't have knowledge, fear. You got fear. We all have fear. I hate doing video. I do video because I have to. I don't particularly enjoy it. I don't arrive at any pleasure by doing it.
Mhm.
What I do arrive at pleasure is when I put my drone videos out there and they
Hmm.
get, 10,000 views because I'm creating something. That's my artistic creation, right? But just stuffing my face and having a conversation with somebody, I don't particularly love doing it. Right? I do it because I have to.
Yeah.
And time, if you don't have the time, you need to find leverage. And everybody, the big craze right now is Chat GPT. Chat GPT ain't your answer. It's an answer to help you in the leverage circle and the leverage realm to come up with ideas to give you basic frameworks. But if you try to use just AI to be your search engine optimized blog, it doesn't work that way. It
Right.
just doesn't work that way. And I'll run any of them through any optimization checker that we have or tools that we have, and they always come back at 22, 24. You're just getting points
Right.
because there's a bunch of words there, right? You
Yeah, I
need to
mean,
be in
the
the
blind squirrel
80s,
finds a nut every once in a while, right?
right? So, I mean, listen, you swing the bat, you'll hit the ball once in a
Yeah.
while.
Well, and I was listening to a podcast just this morning talking about AI, and one of the people that was talking about AI runs a marketing firm. They have a bunch of copywriters. They do copywriting for all different companies in all different industries. And the question was posed to them, has Chat GPT reduced your need for copywriters? Are you finding that you don't need as many copywriters? And the response was no. We I still need copywriters. Can my copywriters do more work than they used to do? Yeah, they can get more done than they used to get done. However, I still need copywriters that are intelligent enough to actually prompt Chat GPT the right way, and
That's
then
the key.
take the Chat GPT output and actually kind of doctor it up so that it looks good. Because to your point, when you take a Chat GPT blog and put it online straight out of Chat GPT versus one that's been actually optimized and edited, it's 4 times more likely to be seen when it's had some level of optimization editing done than if you just take it straight out of the software. And that alone is the reason why you can't just get rid of copywriters and turn Chat GPT into a copy and paste exercise. However, Chat GPT is incredibly powerful in laying the groundwork for what you're doing. You don't have to do all the writing anymore. You just have to put the finishing touches on it. But you still have to do something with it. You can't just say, "Give me a blog about living in Maine," and it's the perfect thing you can just drop out there.
Right. Now, I will say the one caveat to that is I like to say, what is the intention of your blog, right? Is your blog, are you writing the blog to be search engine
Mm.
optimized, or are you writing the blog just to have the sake of dropping a blog somewhere, right?
Yep.
And that blog that you can drop somewhere for some reason, that could answer a specific question about your area, a specific niche that you're in, or whatever like that. AI might not be the best opportunity for you to do that,
Sure.
but it may help you in that particular area. And it's okay that that blog might not be optimized. Okay.
Yep.
But if you think that you're going to use any blog out of any AI, I say this, it's funny because the system that we use to optimize blogs and keywords is AI. Everything's AI now, right?
Right.
AI is nothing more than a computer program, right? That
Mhm.
that duplicates and learns and things like that. But at its core, it's a computer program. So it runs on logic. So need to know how to speak to it. But if you're going to do the searching, if you think that you're just going to copy and paste and that blog is going to be optimized, you've missed the boat. There's so much. That's like you want to paint the house and you order the paint, it was delivered.
Mhm.
Right. That's what AI. That's what copy and pasting with AI is. You're going to paint the house and the paint was delivered. You still got prep work. You're gonna paint. You tape things off. You got to prep. And then you finally get the paint. There's still a whole many more processes to go. It's not just as simple as copy and paste. And that's just SEO on the blog. If you don't understand SEO framework on web backend, right, the off page stuff,
Right.
that's a whole nother ball game. Then Chat GPT, I mean, you can ask it to write these meta tags and descriptions and things like that. That's a whole nother world. That's a whole nother thing that a lot of people don't even think that they need to do, but that's equally as important.
Yeah, I think the key to that is that ChatGPT, and this person reiterated that several times. ChatGPT is an efficiency play. You can either do more in less time or do more in the same time. So it depends how you look at it. You can either spend less time, do the same amount of work, or you can get more work done in the same amount of time. So if you want to go volume, ChatGPT makes that possible. If you want to be able to reduce your time and effort on that particular thing, ChatGPT allows you to do that. But this is not like copywriters are going to be out of work because somebody still has to have a brain in their head to operate this thing and make sense of what it spits out. And but to go back to what you had said earlier about doing the work, I think that in many cases people aren't sure what the work is, and for many people the work is different. Like as an example, I'm not a cold caller. I'm not going to call Fizbo's expired. So I'm not going to circle dial. Like that's not my thing. I'm going to network. I'm going to create content. I'm going to work relationships. That's what I do. So for those people that spend 3 hours a day on the phone, that's great. But in those same 3 hours, I'm doing other stuff. I'm still doing the work, but I'm just doing different work because it suits my personality style, my work style, and the way I do things versus trying to put myself in a spot where I'm doing what others might recommend, which is we often find when people are doing things that aren't a good match for their personality or their work type, that's when that friction comes and that's when they don't do the work anymore and they go looking for how much money can I give to Zillow to get 2 closings a month. And what we're hearing right now is people are spending a lot of money with Zillow to get really not very good leads and very low conversion and a consistent roller coaster of rule changes that impact their business because the easy way out is I'm just going to pay somebody else to do it for me, and then I'll see what comes in rather than taking control of that process.
It's funny to just listen to you on that segment talk because one of the articles, a blog that we released last week, that you can go to evolutionmedia.com or the evolutionmediagroup.com, click on blogs, and you yourself can have access to this blog. Leverage your personality type for successful lead generation, right? Not everybody is in vibes or gels with all the different lead generation strategies. So when you understand yourself, what you're good at, then what you enjoy, then you too can lead generation to your style. I think most people are operating out of desperation,
Mhm.
fear, lack of knowledge, right? UPAD principles, understanding was the first principle. But I think they're operating from that mindset. I guess we'll call it a scarcity mindset because there is no safety net. They don't know what's coming next.
Right.
They got to go, 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 go. Right. But I can promise you that the whole time that you go, 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 going, if you're creating good content, not just making mindless video, come back to content. There's mindful and mindless. What are you creating? I don't create mindless content anymore. I create mindful content. I don't even want to be on social media. I don't want to consume social media. I want to be completely off. If I'm on social media, what I'm consuming better be really good.
Yes.
Okay. And I think a lot of people are moving in that direction. So do you want to be known as the look what I can do guy? Oh my God. Oh, your videos are so funny. This, that, the other thing. That's good. That might get you business. I'm not that guy. Right. But if I'm putting out good content along
Yep.
the way, keeping people abreast of what's happening in the market, talking about what's happening in the market, our MLS puts out a newsletter, our association, York does anyways, puts out, I think, once per month, and the state puts out once per month. Maine MLS once per week puts out an article. I just did a webinar with the chief economist of Keeping Current Matters, There's a whole nother place that you can be putting
Mhm.
out content. So if you got 3 hours, you got 8 hours a day, right? That's what we're supposed to work is 8 hours a day. Pharaoh said that's the work hours, so we work 8 hours a day. Now, with that, if you're not on appointments for 8 hours, what are you doing?
Right.
Okay, so let's break that down. If you're not on appointments, you don't have things to do, then your whole day is lead generating. You should be
Mhm.
carving out an hour a day to content creation, making that video. You can do it with green screens. All the technology is right on this thing right now. I'm building an audience, not on one but two channels: Explore New Hampshire Life, Explore Maine Life. They're both growing. They're both having conversations. So much so that I'm going to list a house that's more than $500,000. Not bad. Not bad for two emails back and forth.
Right. Right.
So tell me it doesn't work again. But know what your personality style
Mhm.
is and be the best at it and have some patience. That's all I say.
Yeah, one of the things I always do with new agents is I run them through the KPA, the Keller Personality Assessment, and a disc profile, and then I take those results back and I sit down with them to say, "Here's what this says about you, and here's what your personality type is, and here are the things you're going to like doing. Here are the things you're not going to like doing. So let's focus you on doing the things you're going to like doing, so that you don't grow to hate this business and resent the work you need to do. Instead, you get up in the morning and you're like, "Oh, I'm going to a networking event. Oh, I'm going to this. Oh, I'm going to make 3 hours of phone calls." Like whatever you like doing, you're doing because then the work doesn't feel so heavy. You're more likely to do it. You don't have that level of resistance. And for me, I mean, my KPA basically says you're not going to like being a real estate agent because you're not going to like those certain things. You know, you're not going to be empathetic and be a good buyer's agent. You're not going to be um necessarily super detail oriented. You are very much more of an operator, a coach, a trainer type person. Like that's your personality type, which makes sense. I've spent my whole career developing the people around me and running large organizations and took that into real estate. And I still enjoy doing that. That's why I still to this day train new agents and coach agents up into production and up into higher levels of production because I mean, could I be an agent? Absolutely. I mean, I'll do 15 deals a year on accident um, because it's all networking. But I know what my strengths are and where to go, and that's why I think this topic is so important, Johnny Mo, and why I talk about beating Zillow. Everybody in this industry right now is obsessed with spending money on Zillow leads, and all the questions are, what are the Zillow leads like in your area, and how much per zip code, and how much per lead, and what's the conversion rate? And honestly, none of that matters because honestly, when you look at when my conversion rate is almost 100% because people are coming to me when they're ready. I'm not chasing them. I'm not putting them in drip campaigns. I'm not nurturing them for a long time. They're reaching out when they're ready because they've been seeing me all along. So I look at it as I can meet all these people, throw them in a CRM and drip all over them for a year, 2 years, 3 years, or I can just create really good content. I can network and have people just say, "Hey, you should meet Harrison. Hey, I'm ready. I'm going to talk to Harrison." Rather than be competing for their attention, rather than competing for their business, they're just kind of following along with me and they're engaging. And then when they're ready, what do they naturally do? They reach out.
And putting out content on YouTube, putting out a good quality blog, optimized YouTube videos with proper headlines and contact information and descriptions and tags and all that stuff. All the stuff that you can take a course to do.
Mhm.
All stuff. Sean Cannell has a great course. Sonny Learn
Yeah.
and Doozy has a great course, right? You can join either one of these two people's courses. You don't have to pay a penny. You learn how to do it all on your own on
Mhm.
YouTube. But the thing is, everybody wants immediate results in the exchange. I'm still going to write that about the exchange. They
You
all
absolutely
want the
should.
exchange. I want to do something for something, quid pro quo. But we're not
Mhm.
all Clarice and Hannibal Lecter, so that doesn't always exist. We have to take a look at long term benefits. And even with search engine optimization, I had a consultation yesterday with somebody about SEO. And I said, listen, all the SEO guys are going to tell you it takes 6 months, 6 months. Everything's 6 months with them.
Mhm.
And because, well, it takes 6 months, right? Because it takes time for these spiders to happen, all these things to happen.
Yep.
You can't sign up with SEO today and expect it tomorrow to be this magical pill. There's things that have to happen. There's adjustments that have to go. But when you are putting out good content, when you have a little bit of thoughtfulness, mindfulness behind it, it's going to live on. Your clients are going to see you. They don't want another drip campaign from you, but they would love to hear who's got great chicken wings, or, oh my God, I didn't realize it was tree lighting this week, or, oh, they're doing that on a Wednesday, not a Thursday, or, oh, they just approved a new, 32 lot subdivision of 50 of a 55 plus complex with all single family. I got to tell Ma, right? There's so many different reasons. Be that person, because we are in 2023. You can be, do, have anything you want on this digital world.
Mm, yep. I want to run an example here, Johnny Mo, and bear with me. So we think about traditional lead generation, tracking people down and follow up calls, drip campaigns, blah blah blah. Um, and I learned this lesson early in my career in real estate, was that I didn't like how much effort, how many attempts. It talks about 8 attempts to get the person to actually answer the phone and engage with you, and even then they might tell you to f off, or hang up on you, or never respond, or how many forced registrations you have for Mickey Mouse at 123 Main Street at 123-456-7890 as their phone number. Like how many times as agents do we go for the need to buy or sell, need to buy or sell, need to buy or sell, and get that reaction of no, click, f off, some one of the above. That process is painful, and it's a lot of effort. It does it lead to something? Absolutely. You can generate business that way, but it's painful, it's frustrating, and it doesn't really make you feel really good about yourself. The flip side of it is, what about when you come to front of somebody and say, "Hey, would you like to know the best place in town to get coffee? You got a dog? Would you like to know the best dog park? What about the best schools? What about the best restaurants? What about the best beaches?" When you come to them with that kind of information, what's the response? "Oh yeah, I'd like to check that out. I'd love to know, what place do you get coffee? Because I always go here. Oh, I didn't know about that place." Or, "Oh, the new this or the new that or the community event." Like when you think about the friction in that process of bringing a client in, when it's cold versus when you've warmed them up with good quality information from your area, they the resistance, there is no resistance. They let their guard down completely. They engage with you. They see that you're human. They treat you like you're human. They're not going to tell you to
Mhm.
f off because you tried to share with them the best coffee shop. Like that just isn't the natural reaction. So what I learned early on in this business is that I don't like chasing. I don't like being told to go pound sand. I don't like being hung up on. And I don't like putting in all that effort that creates all that negative energy that just wears me out. Instead, I would rather tell you all the great things about this community, be your guide, be your community expert, be your connector to connect you to any resource that you need. And from that, you'll come to me when you're ready, because I've earned that trust. I've built up that equity with you, rather than chasing you and having you grow to hate me and not want to see my number come up. And when you hear my name, you're like, "Oh, I hate that guy. He doesn't leave me alone." I'd rather be the one that, "Oh yeah, have you seen his stuff? Oh, that guy's great. He's helped me so much," or he connected me to this, or he showed me that. Like that process, it takes the friction right out of it, and it actually makes this business fun to be that local community expert, that super connector, like the 7 levels of communication says. And from that, all this networking, all these doors open up, all these people want to get to know you versus the people that run from you because of how you come after them.
So, how much time do we got? Let me take a look. Okay,
We got 20 minutes left, Johnny Mo. Go.
we got plenty of time for me to say this. So in 2016, I met this dude named Ryan Foland. I was at an invite only investor camp with venture capitalists. It was very loose. You had to wear sweatpants or a sweatsuit or shorts. You were at a retired, like what you would think like a YMCA camp on the lake would be, or on the
Yep.
pond. There was huts, a boathouse, a great hall, right? Those kind of things. A venture capitalist company bought it. Now they do corporate retreats there, weddings and such, and very rustic. So everybody was chill, loose. But I met this dude named Ryan Follen, because you could pick these different mentors to meet. That's where I met Kevin Harrington, but that was a very special thing. My mentor coordinated that. So anyways, I met Ryan Follen. He's got a great TED talk and concept, and he's got this, he's a public speaker. He's got this concept called 313 method of communication. And the TED talk is really good. And basically, just, I'm not going to go into explain his program. You can Google him all you want. But basically what he said is his process was, you don't want to tell people what you do, right? Because most people won't explain what they do properly, and the person will have a preconceived notion. So when I say, if you ask me, hey, so what do you, I'm at a networking event. So what do you do? Oh, I'm a real estate agent. Canned response. How's the market? They don't care. That's not, most of the time they don't care. And that's going to be a
Right.
general and they already know what you are, and they want to get away from you.
Yep.
right? Um, but when I can say, oh, well, I'm a creative director for blah, 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 blah. Oh, well, what do you do? Well, we help sellers sell their property. They start to ask questions. Oh, so you're
Mhm.
a real estate agent? Well, I am a real estate agent, but I do have my real estate license, but I look at it as something a little bit more,
Mhm.
right? I do something different, right? So when you can start, because what happens is Ryan will say, when you tell people what you do, instant they'll be like, bear, bear, and back up and run away.
Yep.
So exactly to parlay on the point that you were talking about, when you tell people what you do, they have a preconceived notion already about it, a preconceived bias of what you are or what you represent. Somebody says, "Oh, I sell cars."
Yeah.
You
See
know
ya.
what I mean?
Yeah.
No, I
But
don't want a cup of coffee. I
right.
like my car just fine.
Right. Who's got the worst reputation in all of business? Used car salesman. And, the minute you say that you're one of those, you're gone. And realtors aren't far behind them.
Mm,
But
most of them.
yeah. But no, it is very true. I think that people don't want to be sold, and when they hear that you're a real estate agent or you sell cars or you're the Cutco knife person, the immediate reaction is, "Oh man, they're going to try to sell me something. I'm out." But because what people really want to be, they don't want to be sold. They want to be served. They want to be entertained. They want to be informed. They want to be educated. They want those things. Nobody wants to be sold. Think of all the calls we get from the NAR offering us health insurance, or how about all the calls for like the car warranties and all that stuff. What do we immediately do? Click. When was the last time you walked into a department store or any store for that matter, and the person came up and said, "Can I help you find something today?" What's the automatic response? No, I'm all set. Because we don't want that person to inject themselves into our day until we're ready for them.
Yeah.
And that's what sales is.
Mhm.
For those people that are cold calling and doing all that stuff, like, you are inserting yourself in somebody's day when they don't want you there. And that's why there is that friction. The minute they feel like they're going to be sold, you lost them. They're out. They're gone. But when you show that you can educate, inform, entertain, and provide value to them versus just try to sell them something. Cause I laugh. Real estate agents don't sell anything. You're not getting people to buy houses they don't already want or need. You're just helping them complete the process when they're ready for it. We got to stop thinking about ourselves as salespeople. But in reality, the minute they feel like they're going to be sold to, they're out. So don't be there to educate, be there to inform, be there to entertain, be there to provide value. Cause then the business will come.
People don't want to be sold, they want to consume. People don't want to be sold, they want to buy.
Yep.
Right. And yeah, I think real estate agents spend half of their time and energy with new people trying to convince them
Hmm.
why they're the agent they should work with.
Yep.
Right. I don't want to do that. I'm going to list a house. I'm going with the
Hmm.
paperwork pre-filled out. Just sign here, here, and here. Let's have a conversation, get to know each other, have a cup of coffee, have a good laugh or two. Sign right here. You
Yep.
know what? At the end of the day, there's nothing I can do that's any better than any other realtor out there. There's nothing, not a thing,
Yeah.
not a thing.
Nope.
Because whatever that thing is, you have access to it too. You
Mhm.
have access to a photographer. You have access to a videographer. You have access to MLS. There's nothing you provide that's a better value than what I provide. There's just not. It comes to, does the person like and trust you? That's it. People do business with people they know, like, and trust. So
Yep.
get them to know you, get them to like you, get them to trust you.
Yep.
That's it. There's nothing. I'm sorry to burst your bubble. Your business card's not better than mine. Some of them are. If you get those Moo double cards that are like $50 for 25 of them, you got a nice business card, right? And I always
Mhm.
notice those when I get them. Couldn't tell you where any of them are right now.
Right.
But I'll tell you what, when somebody sees you over and over on YouTube talking about these different places or on TikTok or on Instagram, if that's their thing, or on Facebook over and over and over, and then all of a sudden it's like, hey, get my free seller workbook. How many times? Listen, I should be in 10,000 agents retargeting campaign and retarget audience, right? Based upon the sites that I go to and things like that, because um I don't even know if I say that I'm a realtor online, right? I
Mhm.
don't even know. But I should be seeing all these retarget. I don't see anybody doing anything different to stand out. To stand out.
Mhm.
It's always just the same thing. Hey, market's really great. We can sell your house fast. I need inventory. Oh, so basically what you're saying is you're making fast, easy money. Who can I work with?
Yeah, you're exactly. But
Provide value, man.
think
Provide.
about that phrase, Johnny Mo. I need inventory. So I'm asking you all to solve my problem. I'm not trying to solve your problem. I want you to solve my problem. And it's amazing. It's amazing the language that agents use and the fact that people actually will do business with them, because so much of it is me, 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 I. And it's all about what I've done, what awards I've won, what people I've helped, what houses I've sold. it's when really it's about the families you've served, the problems you've solved. It's not about what you have done. It's been about what you've been able to provide to those people that were on this journey. And that is a perfect example of, I need inventory. I need this. So I want you all to come to me to solve my problem. I'm not interested in solving your problem. I need you to solve mine. And again, we just put ourselves in the center. But one of the examples we talked about, Johnny Mo, before we went on was there's a Explore My Town client you've worked with for a little while now that new to a market, has immediately taken market share, has had really, really good success in a short period of time, and is even ranking on page one of Google for certain terms that are specific to that market. Which to think you can be on page one of Google search results, appearing right next to Zillow, and from that, there's been a lot of business generated. But it comes down to it's doing that work, it's optimizing that content, it's distributing that content intelligently, and actually going through all these steps. Why don't you elaborate a little bit about what that process looks like to go from brand new to being on page one of Google with this optimized content?
So everybody's chasing the optimized train, right? And everybody's trying to be ranked for the best real estate agent in the area or whatever. You got to know what your specialties are. You got to know what your niches are. It also takes some of the stuff, again, anybody can do this. You just don't know how and you don't have the systems, right? But anyways, one of the things that I've spent 30 years in the technical field, the .com technical field, right? So I've been
Right.
around advertising. I've watched the platforms build. CMGI was the fourth largest traffic generating company. We had 150 e-commerce companies and advertising companies under our umbrella globally with 7,500 employees. Pretty big company, right?
Mhm.
And so I was exposed to a lot of stuff in the 90s. And so the stuff today is there's billions of pages out there with hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of search terms every single day for those search things.
Yep.
If you can niche down what it is that you're trying to do, I'll use this example. I'm not going to use the terms that any of our clients use. I'll not share any of my pages with you
No.
either because it skews their metrics and everything. It's just not fair to anybody. They're paying for these things. But when you can show up on, yeah, as the term has something to do with relocation. A couple of terms. I did the optimization myself. Okay. So when you can hone in on a niche that is around what you do, and there's not a lot of competition there, and you spend 5 hours doing the optimized page and the optimized blogs and things like that, those are the results that you get. You don't get that from copy and paste from Chat GPT. So basically, she came to a new market. She didn't know anybody. She was rejected by the BNI and such like that. Now, she wasn't brand new. She'd been in business for 20 years at
Yeah.
this point.
Just
She
new to that
moved to a
market.
brand new market. But moving to a brand new market and not knowing anybody, in essence, is starting over. The only thing
Hmm.
that you have is you got the blueprint now, right?
Right.
So you got the experience. But anyway, she was rejected by BNI. They told her that's not how we do things down here. She started to do videos. She used the videos to network with local businesses. Everything that we teach, our methodology, started following our methodology. Now, our methodology will only get you so far. Your uniqueness, your likability, your talent will open the door. You will close the deal. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So anyway, she started to have conversation with the people. She listened to us. She was getting tens of thousands of views on Facebook, on YouTube, and she still gets leads all the time. I just sent her another lead from something that we had from one of her videos off of YouTube. She's getting leads off of YouTube. Why? Because she's out there telling the stories of her area. She's out there telling the important things. She's out there sharing, and people are liking it. She's talking about the relocation niche that she has that she's excellent at, and people are watching it. And people are reaching out. Hey, I'm coming there too. I need your help. So if you're putting this information out there on YouTube, now with the introduction of Chime websites, which we've been testing out with her specifically for the past 90 days, we're able to, within 90 days, get it to the first page of Google with that search term. Now what's there on Google? Her site, her videos. You know who's seeing that? The people who are going there, because here's the part. Everybody wants to be seen, but it's vanity. It's all freaking vanity. You're not an influencer. Stop acting like you're one.
Yep.
You don't need to be a social media influencer. You're not Gary Vee. If you're going to be Gary Vee, cool. There's a very few people in the real estate space who are that influencer level, that influencer likability, that influencer smile, that do the work. Okay. But you have the ability to be a local person of importance, a local influencer. by not putting out videos every single day about all these crazy freaking things, about putting out 1 or 2 videos per week, 2 good scripted and blogged and SEO videos per month. Did you hear me, Harrison? I said 2.
I heard.
I said 2. If you can't do 2 videos per month, this is not the strategy for you. But I can promise you that if you do 2 videos a month, on top of a couple of the filler videos, with your
Yep.
real estate stuff, but 2 good optimized videos with well thought out tags and titles and descriptions, an optimized SEO blog behind it, you too can rank on the first page of Google. And when you sit down with people, they're going to be like, I know you from somewhere. When you're going to have people reaching out to you, say, hey, I'm coming to that area. Can we look at these houses? Absolutely.
Mhm.
Hey, listen, I love the work that you're doing. We're going to be moving to Florida. How's the real estate market? It's phenomenal. Where's your property? It's here. Oh my goodness, you'll have no problem selling. We should probably get together and take a look at what your property is worth, not just the auto value tool that you looked at, because often those are wrong.
Right.
Now I'm going to go and we're going to have to break the news that it's not 675, it's 575 because of the online tool. But anyways, it's still pretty good.
Hmm.
Right? This is all because of a conversation. I had my first phone call with her yesterday. Right? This person reached out to me because of the content that I'm creating,
Hmm.
because of the lifestyle that I'm living. Now, if you hear me with what I'm saying, everybody, I'm going to be able to retire on referrals this way. You see, that's how the real estate game works. But that's what it was. She came to a new market, 2019, was ready to quit in 2020. You also know what happened in 2020,
Hmm.
right? We had a global pandemic beset upon us. She thrived through it. She grew her business so much so that she's on one of the top 20 in her MLS now through a pandemic.
And being brand new, like absolutely brand new to that marketplace.
And she was 62 years old. She's a grandma.
Hmm.
So stop get all these excuses that I hear from people every single day. You too can do it. The obstacle is yourself.
Yep.
Okay. So it takes a little bit of time. It takes persistence. It takes consistency. Okay. But if you just follow the plan, it all works out.
It does.
It all works out. The relationships that this lady has built are immense.
Yep. And the other point to that too is that those relationships will take care of her for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Those relationships will use her again when they need something. They're going to tell the people they know about her. What she's created is not just relationships. She's created raving fans. She's created the people that will tell everybody they know about her. They're that the people that when they hear somebody mention buying and selling real estate, they're going to say, "Oh, have you met?" and drop her name. And that's where I view the power of networking to be so immense in that when you build that relationship and you add value. And I always say that I want to make sure that if we split a dollar, that I'm giving 51 cents of it at least, because I always want to give more than I get, because then I feel like I've actually really contributed to the relationship. But when you have a relationship that's mutually beneficial and not a what can you do for me situation, those are the relationships that turn into those raving fans, that turn into referrals. And next thing you know, you've got this base level of business every year that's coming in where you're not worried about where your next deal is going to come from because it's in your database. It's coming. It'll be there. If you continue to do what you're doing and continue to nurture those relationships and continue to show up every day, it comes. It will be there for you because you've planted the seeds today that will grow into something tomorrow and will take care of you for the long term. And that's, again, I'm not in production. I'm going to close a handful of transactions the next 60 days, all off of videos. I haven't prospected a minute. It's just come to me because I planted the seeds over the last 6 months to a year to, however long ago I really did start. And I've got a page right now that said 41,000 views in the last 2 weeks.
Hmm.
I'm not paying for that. I've spent nothing for that. I'm posting videos. I'm posting reels. I'm answering the questions and comments that come in, and 41,000 people in a couple of weeks that I didn't chase. They showed up. They came to me. What comes of it, I don't know. But to this point, deals are coming from it, and they will continue to come from it because I continue to put stuff out there and continue to interact and engage.
Yeah, we used to have this term. I don't remember where we had this term. And it was if you throw enough poop against the wall, some sticks, some falls.
Mhm.
I think we might actually use mud, but poop sounds better.
Yeah, it's more
Um,
entertaining.
right? You throw some sticks, some falls,
Mhm.
right? Amber Heard, I guess, is motivating me today. But some
Apparently so.
will use mud. If you throw mud against the wall, some will stick, some will fall, right?
Yep.
Um, promise from God, though, if you don't throw mud at the wall, none will stick.
Yeah, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. That's
Yeah.
always the way it's been.
A saying that sticks with me, Mark Mulcahy taught me: everything works and nothing doesn't.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
So, I mean, you got to hone your everything down to the things, right? And I
Yep.
do believe that you should have 2 to 3 solid marketing or and lead generation tactics that you're doing, right? And because you do want the business to be coming in. I know
Right.
mine. Do you know yours? Right.
Yep.
Mine is again when I go to that blog at the Evolution Media Group and .com and I take a look at that, leveraging your personality type for successful lead generation. Understanding, tailor your lead generation strategy, identify your ideal customer, build trust with potential customers, leverage your strength to generate leads. It keeps going on. We talk about extroverts and introverts and ambiverts, tips for success, play to your strengths, network with like minded agents, be open to feedback, lead generation quadrant. This is something I created years ago. I talk about the lead generation quadrant. All business comes from some form of phone call, some form of network, and a sphere of influence. Online portals will purchase leads and traditional marketing, right? So when you understand that there's dozens of ways to generate leads,
Mhm.
the majority of them are in your network and your sphere. That's just the way that is. That's what the NAR says year after year in their generational trends report. So what you're doing is building it on. Hear me out with this. I'm going to get into some advanced Explore My Town stuff right now. Your sphere of influence in business is the people that you know or people that you've done business with, right? Your networking partners, that's your sphere of influence. Friends, family. And anyways, your network of high value, that's a term I use often. Build a network of high value. When you understand that that network is also online,
Mhm.
you build it online. The whole goal of building online relationships is to take people offline. And what you do with your offline relationships is you bring them online and get them exposure to their business, to their service, whatever they do. Now you're building a friendship, you're building an ecosystem of trust, of contribution, you're giving back. And here's the thing, and I talk about this in the referral. I think the referral machine is where this one's mentioned. It definitely is. And it talks about your power circle.
Mhm.
If you have 4 people in your power circle with you, your mortgage person, your financial advisor, a title attorney, an insurance person, and you get a goal of one transaction referral from each of them, not necessarily quid pro quo. Maybe you networked together, maybe you did something together, maybe you had a shared lead generation system going on together. But if you get one, or maybe you co-market together and you all put out a newsletter together, right? Whatever it might be. When you do this, if you get one referral per quarter from each one of these people, you have your MBA, you're really good with math. What's the number?
The number for what?
If you get one referral from each one of those network partners,
Oh, geez, yeah, you're getting 4, then it just continues to spider from there.
16 per year, though.
Exactly, just keeps rolling
Right?
out.
So there's 16 per year right there. I don't know about you, but 16 referrals that close, 16 transactions for me at 500 big ones, that's plenty for me. And this
Oh,
is
yeah,
another
no.
thing that I just want to say. Know what it is that you want. So many people just operate on, I need more, I need more, I need more,
Mhm.
because they can't even define what their own true happiness or joy is. So that the only thing that makes them happy is operating and selling and closing more and more and more and more. And then you're like Scrooge McDuck. You got this big old pile of money, but you got no friends to share it with.
Right.
I don't want to live like that. I
Yeah.
want
Well, that's why I always preach the 3 legs to the stool. 1's your database, 2 is inbound activity, 3 is outbound activity. 1, you need to have a way to engage your database. 2, you need a way to actually attract people to you and have them reach out to you, that's inbound, and 3 is you need a way to go out and meet more people. Because ultimately 2 and 3, the circle completes and they go into your database and they become part of 1. So it's this big virtuous cycle where you're nurturing, you're engaging your database, you're meeting more people that go into your database, you just continue to build up that group, that network of people that you're gonna pull from that are going to be engaging with you and providing opportunities to you, that you wouldn't get otherwise. So It really is. It's all about how you continue to bring people into your world, add value, build those relationships, and from
Mhm.
there things will happen. But the only way to beat Zillow is to put yourself right where Zillow is. If people are online searching for homes and they find Zillow on the first page of Google, you got to be there too. Because most consumers would rather deal with you than Zillow. They just don't see any other options but Zillow because when they search, that's all they see.
Zillow has become a verb, right? Let me go Zillow that. Let me go
Yeah.
Google that, right?
Hmm.
Those two things have become verbs
Totally.
or adjectives or however they're used in a sentence, but they have become regular words that
Yep.
people use. Anyways, with that is Zillow is an IDX website.
Hmm.
I mean, is it anything
That's it.
more than that?
No, it's all it is.
Okay, I have an IDX website. Zillow puts out content about home buying and home purchasing and stuff like that that's built on by general people talking
Hmm.
on a national. I create hyper local content. I'm going to rank better.
You should,
Hopefully,
absolutely. In your market,
hopefully.
you should be able to beat Zillow in your own market because
Mhm.
you will have that hyper local content that people want versus Zillow's generic national average type stuff that doesn't really get at what they're looking for.
Maybe not for the term homes for sale, not maybe for the term real estate
Right.
in. You know, this is why finding these niches,
Yep.
I would rather be number 1 in 5 niches than
Mhm.
number 12 over in a flooded market.
Yep. Yeah, totally.
So
So, all right, Johnny Mo, we gotta wrap this up. So, we gotta get a parting thought out of you for today.
the content that you didn't do 6 months ago still isn't relevant today, but the content that you do today will be relevant 6 months from now.
I like that one. That's a good one. All right. My parting thought is I talk to Asians all the time that are spending significant money with Zillow. And the moral of the story is Zillow does not care about the agent. Zillow does not care about the marketplace. Zillow cares about Zillow. And in some states, they're even now a brokerage. So they're going to start feeding those leads into somebody that they actually control. So my warning to everybody is if you're going to continue to pay Zillow, there will reach a point in time when Zillow looks for ways to put you out of business. If you don't take control of that, if you don't put yourself next to Zillow in those search results, if you don't create that content that allows you to rank and be found at the beginning of the search process, you will always be beholden to a company that doesn't care about you and would love nothing more than to put you out of business. And that's the truth. It is what it is.
Yeah, a lot more money in the whole transaction than selling you the lead.
There is. And honestly, Zillow wants all of it. And they will eventually be they will come to each marketplace with the opportunity to connect you to an agent, title, insurance, mortgage. They'll bring you the whole package. And
And you
they will cut you completely out of the process.
and you can do it all on dot loop.
Right. Which is also owned by Zillow. So they got all your data.
Yeah. So,
But
anyways,
anyways.
it is what
Yeah.
it is.
So I take control. Take control of your lead generation. Put yourself alongside Zillow. Don't be reliant upon them anymore. Build your own brand. Build your own presence, and you'll never have to worry about where business is coming from again. Because everybody right now is scared to death of where that next deal is going to come from, except for those people that put themselves out there. So
Absolutely.
with that, Johnny Mo, have a great rest of your Friday. Have a great weekend. We'll catch everybody next week. If you need us, you know where to find us.